This is Gordon Swanson, and I'd like to say a few words about my past history with Immanuel Lutheran Church. Actually, I started in the early 1930s. I attended Sunday school, and I think I learned about the birds and the bees in the back shed-like room of the church. In 1937, I was confirmed by Reverend Bergstrom, a real old-fashioned, non-card-playing, no unruly ideas preacher, such as the day I was delivering a package from the Missoula Mercantile in my early days to the bar of the Florence Hotel. He saw me go in, and as I was giving a lady a package, which was a pair of shoes, he pulled me out into the street before I could say a word and give me the works out on the sidewalk of the Florence Hotel. He was a great pastor, though. I liked him. In the early 30s, we planned to build or the late 30s, a steeple and a larger room in the back of the church. The church size was set by actually by the Ladies' Aid. They ran the church. There was a board of trustees, of which I was an early member, and a board of deacons. We all listened to them. When the back part of the church was remodeled, one half of the room built on the church was one half fellowship and one half kitchen. The kitchen had a wood stove, as it had in the past, plus a gas stove. Gone were the two outhouses in the back, his and hers, and a bathroom was added plus a two-room basement room, and we had a furnace for heat. Then came World War II. Many of us were drafted or enlisted, and the church was empty of young men and women. After the war was over, the gold star flag was evident. Our church had had its toll of sacrifices. The young people returned, and I guess this is what I remember the most. Some of the experiences was the New Year's Eve service, which we no longer have. We welcomed New Year's Eve in with a potluck supper. We started right around about 11 p.m. Then had silence and prayers 5 minutes or more before the New Year's Eve, 12 o'clock. At this time, when that time arrived, the railroad whistles from the engines would blow, the church bells rang, the lumber companies blew their steam whistles, even the Highline Brewery blew their whistle. This was one of my favorite remembrances. Everyone left the church quietly and went home. There was very little celebration except for thanks that evening. I had the privilege of serving on the board of trustees in Old Immanuel. I was a member when we purchased the lots on Kensington, and when we sold them to move to South Avenue. The present purchase was one half block from T. Roy Hazelrig family. I also was present when we used the Wells Foundation to build the first and second unit of our present church. Many of us from Old Immanuel were present at the 50th, the 75th, and the 100th anniversary. I guess the greatest thing that I can remember too at this time is the burning of the Mission Church Statement with Pastor Charles Johnson. I always hoped that we really didn't burn the real piece of paper, but I'm afraid that we did. And the other thing that I wish to say too is that Ina and I were married by Pastor Rod Johnson in 1951, and he had, I believe we were the first married when he came to town. And I think that's my recollections at this time, and I thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.